EGEC's work, and also it gives us the right guidelines of the needs of the members, which have to be put forward in our activity among the European Commission and the European committees. Also, your input is very valuable to promote projects which are needed for the development of geothermal energy across Europe, and not only Europe, across the world. So now I would like to invite Philippe Dumas, the Secretary General of EGEC, to introduce our members today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miklos, for this welcome. Indeed, it's a pleasure for us today to present you these new members. Maybe some of you are familiar with EGEC, European Geothermal Energy Association. We started activities in 1998, so more than 23 years ago. Last year, in 2020, we had in total 133 members, including in our membership national associations. And you will see that today, notably, a national association also joining recently. And with the national associations, some are quite big, and notably if you look at the French, the Dutch, the German ones. So in total, we say we represent more or less 500 entities, directly or indirectly. But what is noticeable is that from the first semester 2021, we had 16 new members. And it's quite interesting to see there's we know increased interest about geothermal, about developing geothermal projects in Europe. It's why we hope that the concept we launched last year about a geothermal decade 2020-2030 will be not only a concept, but will be a real market development. So we are really happy to see all new stakeholders joining EGEC and helping us to make this happening. So today we are presenting some of them. I say we had new members. We'll do one event with all of them, but we have the pleasure today to have 8 companies and entities involved in geothermal presenting themselves. So I will give them 5 minutes to present themselves, but all of you after, you will have the opportunity to ask them questions or to network with them in breakout rooms. I don't know if you are familiar with this tool, Zoom, but here we are in the main sessions, but at the end of the main sessions, you see an icon on the right part of the icons, just between record and reactions. And here you will have a possibility to engage with the different presenters. I don't want to be longer because I think we now have a lot of interest to hear from our members. So first I give the floor to Ingo Forstner from BVEG in Germany. Ingo, floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Well, thank you very much, Philippe and Miklos, of course. Really appreciate the opportunity here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ingo Forstner, and I'm looking after deep geothermal and underground storage at BVEG. BVEG is the German National Association for Natural Gas, Oil, and Geoenergy. We're headquartered in Hanover, also have an office in Berlin. And please don't confuse us with BVG. Sounds similar, but they're focusing on the lobbying side. We are focusing on the technical side, really. It's been what you can assume from our name. It's been a fairly recent transformation from an oil and gas to more like a downhole association of companies, right? And we are walking and we're embracing the path of energy transformation. Our members are oil and gas operators, they're underground storage operators, they're geothermal operators, and there are also service companies who serve them all. And I think that's quite important that you have these different types of companies with their individual expertise come together and combine their efforts. And one recent example that I'd like to show you is like our well integrity guideline that we are publishing these days, probably next week or so. And the well integrity guidelines are aimed to reduce risk when it comes to well integrity, and it's a very sound standard, basically a guideline. Looking at barriers and certain technical concepts. And it's been developed with a lot of experience from different angles from people with different experiences. We've had quite some interesting discussions getting into this, actually looking at the fine detail of it, and where there were originally quite different ideas, but we all agreed on this and have a really good and sound document now that's going to help reduce risk, helps insurance and everything, of course, but reduce the risk in the first place. It's in German, of course, but it's probably going to be helpful also across Europe, hopefully. So another example that I want to give you what we are looking after is we're promoting geothermal after-use of oil and gas wells, especially in the north, where we partner with the authorities and with companies and other stakeholders. Where we have a lot of oil and gas wells that have an opportunity where you could make them deep geothermal wells. So we have identified candidate wells. We've created a checklist of what you need to consider when you change ownership. And we've created a few documents that help facilitate something like this. And it's not just for applicable to Lower Saxony, of course, but in general, in most of that. So in general, I would think, and many of you will be aware, Germany has a great opportunity with oil and gas, especially with heat, but there's a window of opportunity, and I think we need to stress this, and we want to take this chance. It's not just a Green Deal; it's first and foremost the opportunity for district heating that arises from the exit out of coal, where you need new heat sources for district heating. And we are facilitating there. We're talking. We're having the discussion. And we want to reach out throughout Europe, of course, as well, especially to our neighboring stakeholders, and bring geothermal forward together. And that's what we're really about. So please visit our website, send me an email, call me, or see me in the breakout room in a moment. Keen to hear from you. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Ingo. Really precise. And indeed, I see two things. But for EGEC, indeed, as you're doing replication of best practices, your guidelines, indeed, it will be maybe useful to translate some part into English. And also, of course, exchange expertise from oil and gas to geothermal, something that we will need also. Thank you, Ingo. I will now give the floor to Giovanni Sozio from Celsius Energy in France.
Good. So thank you very much, Philippe. I hope this, yeah, you can see the screen. I'm happy to introduce Celsius Energy today. My name is Giovanni Sozio. My role is I work on the geoscience business for Celsius Energy. And what Celsius does in the ecosystem is more a role as a service provider. So the mission is to connect buildings to the earth. What does that mean? Celsius is working to provide turnkey solutions for building and heating, for heating and cooling of buildings, especially collective buildings. Basically, this Celsius Energy solution is a ground source heat pump solution, but integrated with the components from the borehole heat exchanger, the heat pump, and the digital energy management system, which I will describe later. So the first installation, which is the one you see pictured in the photo, was developed and installed in a Schlumberger building near Paris, in Clamart, south of the city. And it has already achieved a reduction of a factor of 10 in CO2 emissions with comparison with the previous gas-fired heating system and cooling system, electrical cooling system. And even the consumption of energy has been reduced by more than half. And all this with 80% of the time, the energy to the system was coming from the renewable source, from the geothermal heat pump. So the idea is that we provide knowing that the emissions from buildings are a sizable of the CO2 emissions, we provide a tool to supply renewable energy from the shallow subsurface for the heating and cooling of the building, reducing not only the emissions but also achieving a more efficient management of the energy. So I just focus on a couple of novel points in the offering. The first is the geometry of the borehole heat exchanger. So this is a picture of the building where the first plant was installed. If we had built a traditional vertical borehole exchanger field, each of the probes will be spaced from each other to avoid interference, and the footprint will be more or less what you see in the picture. Instead, the decision was to use a radial pattern where deviated probes radiate outside from a single small footprint wellhead, thus obtaining a smaller occupation of the soil at surface during the drilling. So the building of the borehole heat exchanger was done while the building was occupied and the parking was in use. And at the surface, we only have a small site to mark the location of the wellhead nearer to the building. So the idea is that this can be also done while a building is used. So it can be used for renovation and not only for new buildings. A second point is the digital control system. So what we call the energy management system. It is basically reading the data from sensors that are across the system, from the wellbore to the pumps to the building itself, monitoring the thermal behavior of the whole system and optimizing the energy provision, optimizing the entire system with actuators that actually change the rates in the well, the functioning of the pump, and of course the building according to the needs for people's comfort, so that the objective of the client, be it to reduce the CO2 emissions or the energy consumption in the long term, can be met, and thanks to an optimization algorithm. And this is coupled to the modeling of the site. The system is modeled from the well and from the subsurface all the way to the building, so that the energy model can be benchmarked with the observations by the control system, and again used for the optimization of the behavior and the optimization of the final target of energy reduction and emission reduction. As I said, Celsius was spun off from Schlumberger a couple of years ago, so it counts on the capital capital of Schlumberger, but also a lot of new people in the team, which come from the building industry. So we are happy to be part of an ecosystem which joins the subsurface and the surface, which connects them, in fact. And I'm especially proud, of course, to be presenting this to the EGEC, which is, of course, one of the parts of this ecosystem that Celsius evolves in. And that's it for me. Thanks for listening, and I'm looking forward to hear from you in the breakout rooms.
Thank you very much, Giovanni. Indeed, quite interesting in terms of development and innovation. Mentioning innovation, one activity of EGEC is try to give an innovation award every year. I know the best application we have seen during the year. So thank you, Giovanni, for your presentation.
Thank you.
I now give the floor to Radu Mircescu from Drilling Risk Service in Romania. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Radu. Also, I would like to introduce to you my colleague, Simona. In fact, she's introducing our services. Most of all, we are developing risk evaluations from building projects, and I'm happy to share with you some of them.
I will give the floor to Simon Vachen from EBN. Simon?
Yes, hello.
Thank you for your flexibility.
No problem. am I visible? Oh, one second. Yes. All right, I'll share my screen. So my name is Simon Vrijsen. I'm a public affairs advisor at EBN. I'd like to talk to you about our company. EBN is a Dutch state energy company. It's fully owned by the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate. We're so-called policy participation, so we're responsible for implementing parts of the Dutch energy and climate policy. Historically, we've been involved in the whole gas production chain, but we've implemented a new strategy in 2016 aimed at decarbonizing the gas value chain. So for an overview of what our strategic objectives are, we've 3 pillars. These are the Dutch gas. So we're still doing exploration and production of Dutch gas. And at the same time, we're doing return to nature. So we're decommissioning platforms that are no longer in use or trying to reuse them for example, for CO2 storage. And our third pillar is new energy, which includes geothermal energy and other energy sources. We are involved in geothermal energy as well. We advise the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Climate on and various climate green deals. So these are local alliances. We have cooperations with local governments and industry organizations such as Geothermal Netherlands, the branch organization for geothermal energy. We also do a SCAN, which is a program to map the subsurface for the use of geothermal energy. Since March 2019, we've been shareholder in geothermal projects, and we're now an investing equity partner in 4 geothermal projects, which are in development phase, and we're cooperating partners with 5 to 10 projects in the pre-development phase. And there's currently a legislation which is still supposed to be discussed by Parliament, but after it passes, we'll have a mandatory non-operating shareholding in all new geothermal projects in the Netherlands. So for an example of our contribution to innovation in geothermal energy, these are projects which we do in cooperation with partners such as Geothermal Netherlands, the branch organization for geothermal energy. The first one is the industry standard for sustainable well design. We have implemented a new well design, which is partly it's a two-sided well design, which prevents leaks. It's more secure than the previously used well designs. It will be mandatory starting this year. The other one is the innovation inventarization for geothermal energy, which is a new collection of various innovations from legislation to security to cost reduction, which are all collected and presented to the industry, which will make geothermal energy more of a success in the Netherlands. So we're very excited about that. Why we're a member of EGEC? Well, very much like to have eyes and ears in the EU politics. It's a new district, new region for us, so we're quite new at that. I would like to give a compliment to EGEC for the following of the EU taxonomy. That was very helpful to us, and that was a really good job that they did. We'd always also very much like to share our knowledge and discuss the development of geothermal energy, so best practices, innovation, permitting, with other EGEC members. So we're very much looking forward to working together with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. Just on policies, you may know, but next week we will have on the 14th of July a big package from the European Commission on new politics for energy and climate. Yes, Fit for 55% 2030. So we expect quite a lot of new provision interesting for geothermal. You mentioned also permitting. You will see we are about to provide organize a public consultation on some recommendations on permitting and licensing.
Okay.
This consultation will be open for 2 months, July, August, and all members, but not only members, but all geothermal stakeholders are asked to answer this consultation to have a full endorsement. And after we can come to both national authorities and European authorities with a set of recommendations.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we go back now to Simona and Radu to see if the audio is working?
Our company started in 2019 for drilling risk evaluation. We already appointed for Transpark managers a cover holder Lloyds for oil and gas and geothermal drilling projects. As downhole well solutions in 2020, we rebrand. We are calling now, our name is Drilling Risk Services, and we start to develop a project for wellbore execution risk evaluation. These kind of reports, we call them drilling visa, they are a registered mark of ours, are used by shareholders, stakeholders, key decision makers. It's an algorithm based on the levels of risk of the insurance. It's very important for geothermal to know that, because a lot of problems that we meet in geothermal drilling are very related to the oil and gas issues, but mainly it's about loss of circulation and pipe stock. They are different a little bit because the temperature of the downhole, temperature and pressure are very different. You know, when it's talking about geothermal, it's hot. The temperature rises from 60 to 70, which is common oil and gas, up to 200 and 300. The most important thing is the fact that we started with a geothermal well in Netherlands in 2019. And our last project is for geothermal is for 3005 LG Beriuș from Dafora, which is the latest drilling project for geothermal in Romania. I'm very sorry that we are not able to show our video, but we'll send to you and to EGEC our new documentation, and our new website will be releasing soon. If someone can join us and support, this is all I have to talk about. Please, Simona, if you can join us, please do it. Thank you very much.
No, but thank you, Radu. I think it was quite clear. Thank you for your flexibility in the presentation. Indeed, when your video is available, we will put it in the recording of this meeting, or maybe we'll invite you to present it in the next meeting. Okay?
Yes, very much. I don't know what's happening because we made a lot of rehearsals. Simona was in charge, and I'm very, very unhappy because she wanted so much to join us, and I don't know what's happening. She's not in the same place with.
It happens.
Please, I want to support her because she put a lot of work into it. She behind the videos and the presentation, in fact, is her work.
Okay, but we will find a way to make it happening.
Thank you very much.
Okay, and as you see in EGEC, we're not only dealing with deep geothermal, but also with geothermal pumps, shale geothermal. And now it's my pleasure to give the floor to Hilary Panforce from Megawatt Solutions. Floor is yours, Hilary.
Hello, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. What nice words from Radu to his colleague. That's very nice. And we wanted to say how happy we are to be in this community with EGEC and how many wonderful people we've already met. So thank you. I'm now going to share the screen. I hope you can see my presentation.
Yes, we can. It's not in full screen mode, but we can see.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, my name is Hilary Panforce. I work with sales and new business at Megawatt Solutions Nordic, which is a Swedish geoenergy technology company that was founded in 2016. The owners have a background in the villa market, which, as you probably know, the Swedish market for that is very mature. And now this is aimed at commercial and large real estate. The energy solutions have been installed and in full operation since 2016, and this is our tagline. We want to plug into a carbon-free future with our product, which is an energy box marketed or trademarked as the e-box, and it's a megawatt level prefabricated energy station that is featuring ground source heat pumps in a standard 20-foot container, hence the picture of the container there. And the solutions can satisfy up to 100% of the energy needs for large residential or commercial properties by providing heating, cooling, and hot water at megawatt level, hence the name. So we believe that our society needs radical change in terms of how we produce and consume energy. And we believe that the e-box presents a way to hasten the path towards decarbonisation by providing a stable, carbon-free, and most importantly, a commercially scalable solution. So we focused on rationalization, industrialization, and digitalization to achieve that process. So let's have a look now at the next slide. Here you see the energy box, they're being delivered. One of our colleagues there on site. So with rationalization, we've rationalized the traditional labor-intensive installation process by cutting the installation time with a prefabricated energy box. And what that essentially means is that it's prefabricated, pre-tested in a factory here in Sweden. So a traditional installation process could take up to 18 months, but it's now achieved in a matter of weeks. And most of our installations are, as said, pre-manufactured in the Swedish factory, and that's where they're tested and quality assured before being dispatched to site, as you see there. So now the e-box here, there's lots of animations, so I'm just going to click my way through here. The key factors here is mission critical reliability. We have an uptime of about I don't know, I think Siri's friend is helping. Our e-box has an uptime of about 99.6% to provide secure and stable heating, hot water, and cooling. And we achieve this with our Lego style modular design. So each e-box that you see there has between 4 to 8 of our own tailored designed heat pumps, and multiple e-boxes can actually be connected to form one large energy station to be used as a district heating cluster, essentially. And such an installation can actually also be extended if the property area expands or develops in the area. And the megawatt capacity enables that use of district heating as a cluster instead of traditional combustion-based sources. The Lego style modular design also means more modules can be added at a later stage, even within the box, if there are only 4 in there, for example. It provides flexibility and individual parts can be added without downtime. So it's ideal for maintenance and service. For example, a compressor can be changed in a matter of hours without the whole system having to calm down. Then we have this digital SCADA system, which we call the Megawatt Cloud. So connect the sensors from our e-box energy systems, the customer's IoT services, and building management systems into our cloud-based SCADA system, and our open API facilitates easy connectivity to customers' existing IT systems and BMS. And real-time data is sent to authorized engineers and property managers anywhere, anytime. The aim of that is basically to allow preventative management instead of reactive management, which improves the property financial performance, the energy production, and smart building control to avoid wasteful habitual behaviors. The e-box can be designed to satisfy whatever architectural preferences are desired, and can even be used as a charging station for electric vehicles. So you have the traditional design, more modern design, whatever you prefer. We have a collaboration with KTH University here in Stockholm, the Royal Institute of Technology in Stockholm, and we are continually engaging in R&D with them, and we're now launching a new generation of the e-box solutions by combining ground source heat pumps with PVT. And the new hybrid e-box offers complete carbon-free energy solution and there are numerous benefits of that. It reduces the need for the borehole depth and decreases the borehole space while keeping a similar high performance level. It adds increased COOP due to the thermal gains from the PVT. The e-box electricity consumption is partially or fully covered by the PV generated electricity, and it also increases the efficiency of the PV panels due to the cooling of the heat transfer fluid circulation system. So I don't know if I have time to show this video. It's about 90 seconds long.
Yes, you can.
Okay, here we go. So there's no speaking here, but you will see it more succinctly describes the process, essentially. So this is the energy station. So the main thing really is to save time during the installation process and to keep the whole site busy, clean. and it's for new buildings or retrofit. And there it says pre-tested and pre-manufactured in a factory. And there you see electric vehicles as a possibility in the PV panels. So then it leaves the factory and then is plugged into the pre-drilled boreholes. And here you have the SCADA system, full control monitoring. And here, this new e-box with the PVT. And there are some benefits I already described previously. So there you see rationalization, industrialization, and digitalization. And another factor here is that it's built in a container with the aim of shipping to the rest of the world to, as I said before, hasten the path towards decarbonization. And this is the property managers sitting back and relaxing.
Thank you very much, Hilary. Quite interesting.
Now it's starting again, sorry. But yeah, so if you would like to get in touch, we have our website there, or connect with us on LinkedIn. And thanks again for this opportunity.
You're welcome. And also I remind all of you, you will have 10 minutes in the breakout rooms to exchange also with Hilary. And now I will move to Matthias Gatti from MS Energy Solutions.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to talk and share my presentation. 1 second. So, my name is Matthias Gatti. I am the Managing Director of MS Energy Solutions. We are a small 14-year-old dynamically developing company, focused and mostly working in earth sciences. We have earth science and energy specialists working with us. We are strong with reservoir engineers and drilling specialists. And basically, we have 4 different brands under the company that is doing project planning and designing in the field of geothermal energy, but we were also working for the hydrocarbon industry, providing them geological expertise. We create turnkey solutions for geothermal projects. And one of, you can see the 4 of our brands, basically mining support, focusing for the hydrocarbon industry or the deep drilling projects. When it comes to new geothermal systems, our renewables department is basically doing geothermal services, but also project development and operation and maintenance. And we also focus on other geological expertise and and other areas too. We have our unique we have our unique solution for reutilizing pre-drilled deep oil and gas wells, where we managed to reuse this well. We named this technology WeHeat, wells for heat exchanging advanced technology. It's a modular, compact solution to gain the heat of the earth very efficiently without using the formation water. It's a very, very quick solution, so we can install this system within a couple of weeks. As I said, there are no costs for drilling when it comes to turning to an existing well into a heat source, basically. Obviously, since the drilled oil and gas wells since they are found in the outside the big countries, this is ideal for greenhouse heating and agricultural projects. But if we would be drilling this and installing this technology into a newly drilled well, then of course it's good for heating and of large buildings and industrial halls. As a little comparison, when we want to put the system on the scale, comparing to other geothermal systems, we are talking about deep geothermal or not shallow geothermal in this sense. And obviously our technology has low enthalpy, therefore we welcome the cooperation of these heat pump systems that can raise the temperature that we can gain from the ground source. But comparing to other geothermal systems, this is a very quick and a cheap solution. And what is great is that the operational costs are minimal, comparing to where you have to pay for maintenance of the EGS systems and electricity and water treatment and so on. This is a modular, as I mentioned, a modular system. So we can put it into different deep well bores, starting from, obviously, the geology will define it, but starting from 1.5 kilometers up to 4 kilometers or anything, basically, there is no limit. There is no need for certain permitting, therefore it's quite quick. It's mostly for heating, but we are working on the next generation version of this deep well bore heat exchanger for electricity that is already quite promising, and obviously there are no geological risks. So this is a solution, a good solution for a plan B when you are looking for let's say geothermal systems, or if you know that there are no formation waters. As I said, we've been working in the industry, in the hydrocarbon industry since 2007, but we've been working in the geothermal industry for more than 8 years. One of our biggest and most successful project participation was when we were collaborating in creating the Audi factory in Győr, the geothermal system there. But obviously this innovation that we could make and install in Kiskunhalas in Hungary, this is a quite unique solution. This specific well will provide 500 kilowatts for the city or for the facilities. We are still in negotiation where to use this heat, whether in the vicinity there is a sport hall, maybe there we can use it, or a separate agricultural project. These are our email addresses and websites. Please visit us, and if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Thank you very much, Matthias. Quite fascinating development. We are developing in Slovakia, but also we are waiting for a project in Hungary to hear the results. Thank you. Now I will move to Bob Hanskamp from Well Engineering Partners in Netherlands. Bob, the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you, Philip. Share my screen. All right. Yeah, my name is Bob Hanskamp. My background is drilling engineer, and now I'm the business development manager and advisor of sister companies of Well Engineering Partners, in short, WEB. WEB is, as the name implies, a well engineering consultancy firm of 30 people with a great track record in the geothermal energy. We are involved in the realization, the repair and decommissioning of all kinds of wells for 2.5 decades. And since 2006, dozens of geothermal wells have been drilled in the Netherlands. And we are involved in more than 90% of them, 64 to be exact. 64 of them are geothermal wells, and currently over 157 kilometers of geothermal wells spread over 29 projects have been realized in the Netherlands, with a total production of 355 megawatt thermal heat. Currently also 40 more projects are being planned or even in development. So there's a lot going to happen. And therefore sufficient data and experience is available to offer. And doing so, many valuable lessons have also been learned. We are involved, as I mentioned, in the realization, repair, and decommissioning, not only geothermal, but also in other industries. And we offer support with, for example, feasibility studies, permitting, budgeting, well designs, procurement and tendering, preparing work programs, but also help with the preparations for the execution phase, and also during execution with integrated project management and drilling management, as well focus on, of course, on the cost control, the logistics, HSE. So that's all what we offer. Great gains can be obtained when using a portfolio approach. We did this with single operators with 3 or 4 geothermal wells, but also with 2 or even 3 different operators to make a portfolio success sequence. And of course, you can extend it as much as you would like. For example, in this case of 2 doublets of 4 wells drilled on the same location with similar well design and trajectories. And for this project, we supported our client with the well designs, project planning, tendering, and also coordination of contracting of materials and services. And during the execution phase, web provided coordination, management, and supervision for the project. And in this case, we saved 24% of the budget, and the biggest gains were shown after the first well. And in the next wells, also significant gains were noted. We make improvements happening by our quality steering committee, lessons learned database, and performance improvement plans to continuously challenge the status quo. And the benefits for the clients is the involvement in the design, also in the budgeting and costing, drilling and testing, and assure a safe, efficient, quality operation. And we do that together with a highly motivated team and partners. Also, but what Simon also from EBN shared, also we learned from our early well designs, which were focused on low capex, but that these wells they experience corrosion issues. And we engineered together with material suppliers and our clients a new next generation geothermal well, with the focus on life cycle of the well to improve the performance of the geothermal systems. When you are interested to learn more, please let me know, and we explore together what we can do for you to transform your ambitions and make it reality. Because we strongly believe that every organization, region, or country interested in geothermal energy can develop successful heating and/or electricity projects. Let's have a chat. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Bob. Really interesting presentation and pretty clear indeed about the services you provide. As I say, you will be able to answer some questions in the breakout after the last presentation, because now we have one more presentation from Bart Dejean from 85 Degrees Renewable. Floor is yours.
I'm not Bart. Unfortunately, Bart has an issue in the Netherlands. My name is Greg Fain, and I'm Bart's partner in 85 Degrees. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you and we can see your presentation.
Good. Unfortunately, I am presenting two different speeches at a different conference today in Monaco at the CC Forum. So I have stepped out into a corridor where hopefully there isn't too much background noise. So Marcus, who I think is on the call as well, our associate, can answer questions in a little while. I will just give a brief summary of our business. Very interesting speeches so far. I think we want to talk to all of you. I can see ways of working together, or we are already in the example of Webb talking to you for many, many years. My partner owns and runs EGEC that supplies the last mile or last kilometer steel for many of the geothermal wells in Holland and Europe. I believe in Holland we supplied about 90% of the geothermal wells over the last 10 plus years. Anyway, on to 85 Degrees Renewable. We have recently purchased 4 existing wells in Holland. We will be drilling new wells from the autumn onwards, and we have a number of applications for new permissions to drill across Holland. Our expectation is within 3 years to be well over 10 plus wells across Holland or the Netherlands. We believe that geothermal is slightly behind the curve and is very important in terms of reaching the CO2 reduction targets that have been set out in the Paris Accord and further meetings after Paris. We see there's fantastic opportunities in geothermal. Geothermal, of course, is baseload energy. It's 24 hours a day. And in that, we believe it has significant advantages over solar and wind. Also, geothermal is good to last for 50 years plus. As we all know, 80% of domestic heating and cooling is what is using up electricity. And we believe that particularly in Holland, a lot of the base load requirement for heating and for air conditioning can be supplied domestically and in industry and in agriculture from geothermal. So fantastic potential. We think and we hope there will be a lot more geothermal wells, which will be replacing carbon, allowing us to stop using gas and coal. Obviously, I'm sure you're all aware that the Netherlands is slightly behind their targets and really need to have a focus on reducing CO2. And I think delighted to talk to each of you in detail over the next few days or next weeks. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for this presentation in the last minute, Greg, but it was really clear and precise. Now, we are at the end of this presentation, 5 minutes mentioned by new members, and we give you the opportunity to engage with all of them during the breakout rooms. So there's 1 room per member, over 8 members. So now you are free to join for about 10 minutes. And after, we are back to a conclusion in a plenary session. So see you there.
Thank you.
Hello, I think you're back step by step to the breakout rooms. I hope it was useful for you to have some engagement. Indeed, due to some delays, we have not been able to dedicate too much time to that, but I hope you enjoy It was just a first of a kind networking event in a COVID time, but we hope that the COVID time will be over after summer. Let's be optimistic, and we'll be able to really engage in a networking physically, but also with a nice atmosphere. We're doing a cocktail and some drinks to share all together. So I really thank you, all of you, for attending this meeting. I thank you also all the presenters. I have a good feedback from some of you that it was good to see both shallow and deep geothermal, heating and cooling, and some electricity, manufacturer, service company, developer. So a good mix of membership, which is what is EGEC today, really trying to present all the sector together. So I thank you all, especially presenters, for your availability today. And for sure, we will organize another Meet the Members event in September, where you will have the opportunity to see the 8 of our members. As I said, 16 members joined EGEC in the first semester, or already recently some new ones. So you will have the opportunity to engage with the new members in September. In the meantime, I wish you a nice day. And if I don't see you before, I wish you a nice summer break. I think we all deserve this summer break after a long year with some quarantine and some issues where we are not able to see each other. So thank you all. Nice day, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.